we want to see if we can give you guys the information on how to get the best possible deal on a new bike. So here we have the exact same bike for $3,400. That's $900 more expensive than what we're about to buy one brand new. I mean, with all the fees and stuff, there's gotta be something. There's no way it's impossible. Is the bike we came for not here? What we're trying to do here is we're trying to make a video showing you guys how to get the best possible price on a brand new bike. And we know this because this might potentially hurt us as a dealership that only sells used, but we want to see if we can give you guys the information on how to get the best possible deal on a new bike. We're finding some very strange discrepancies in the market. Almost so much that this could really hurt our business. New old stock is a motorcycle that's older than the current year. Now, it's fairly normal when it just turned 2019 that you might have a couple of 2018s, no big deal, but when you have a 2017 or a 2016 or a 2015 or 2014, that's new old stock. So what our prediction is that you can buy a brand new bike, a brand new old stock for cheaper then you can actually buy it used with thousands of miles on it. And there can't be right. There must be something we're not seeing. So let's see what we find out. From what I've been told, they get these waves like from different months from the manufacturer saying like giving bigger rebates and kickbacks to get rid of these old stuff. Right. And they'll do it on certain bikes and they'll do it on certain years. So at a 2017. That bike is 2 years old by now. New dealerships have what they call MAP pricing, and this is across the board from all the dealerships from Harley Davidson to everyone, where they actually have to, because of their franchise agreements with Honda or Harley or whoever, they have to list the price at a certain amount. And then what'll happen is, Harley Davidson's really good at this, and they'll keep it real strict. It's very rare that you'll ever see Harley discount their prices or see them discounted. What can happen is Harley Davidson might come out and say, if you still have a bike, this age range, and this model, you can now discount the price. And they'll give that across the board to all the dealerships so everyone's on a level playing field. Now they can sell the vehicle for cheaper. I mean, I guess in essence, they can sell the vehicle for $5 if you come in there, if they want to lose tons of money. But they can't list the bike for that cheap because the arrangement they have with the franchise and the manufacturer. Realistically, we shouldn't. I don't want to pay any fees.
Well, no, right.
Like we're buying it from out of state.
Right.
I'm not dealing with this. Here's the price plus freight prep and all this other doc fees. There's no document stuff.
Well, it also really helps when you tell them something's time sensitive. When you're like, I'm buying one today. Right. You want to sell your old stock or do you not? I'm coming. I'll pay cash. I'll buy it. Which honestly, the whole cash thing it doesn't do anything anymore. Because most people want to finance, they want to sell the warranty, they want to do all that stuff. So I don't know. I think the only way a cash argument works is if they know that there's going to be no hiccup. Like you're going to come, the bike will be gone. Yeah, the only thing when you're saying cash is just that you were able to buy it, and there's no question in their mind that you were able to buy it. Right, and it's leaving that day. Right. Oh, what?
There we go, $3,500.
Dude, that's.
Are we leaving with 2 bikes?
2014. We only have 2 new bikes. But 2014 CTX.
Jump on here and see what a 2014 CTX 700. So here's a perfect example of what we're talking about. We just found a 2014 CTX 700 for $3,500, and that is significantly cheaper than what you can find a used one for on the market. And then most of these used ones are in the $400 or $4,500 range. And they think it's worth that much. It's because when they bought it for 89 or 99 or something like that. It's not unusual. It's not the most common thing, but it does happen. And there's actually instances where the bike was cheaper new. I remember with the instance of in 2009, you could buy a 2008 Honda CBR 1000, brand new bike for $7,500. And if you had kept that bike and rode it and put normal amounts of miles on it, you kept that bike and you rode it, it would not be unrealistic that 8 years later, 7 years, 6 years later, that bike is still worth $7,500. Because now because now all the old stock is gone. You're not comparing it to that. You cannot buy a liter bike for that kind of money. Now you're comparing it to the brand new bikes that are brand new or selling for 14 grand. So stuff like this does happen. All right, so
this looks like a pretty killer deal too, dude. $3,500.
What are the used ones doing?
They're doing 38 for one with 1,700 miles on it. 49, 44, 48, 44, 49, 42, 49, 3,500 brand it.
Wow, it looks like you could totally buy that bike and then sell it for possibly a profit.
Right? Like, this is doable. Like, you find an old enough new stock bike, those dealers don't want that junk on their floor anymore. They're selling new ones.
Here's the big question, though. Will they budge off those fees?
Right.
True, off those freight fees.
But those fees are BS, though. That's the thing.
I
Like,
think they are BS.
They're not. I think they don't lose any money budging off those fees. It's just a fee that they have.
It's extra
in
money
it.
they can get.
Right. They're not eating that money. That service guy got paid a different way. Freight and prep is BS, man.
I think it is.
Which, plug for SRK, we do not do that.
So let me explain freight and prep. And actually talking from one of my secret intels in Honda, freight and preps. I actually look at freight and prep a little bit differently than what I did before. Now, if you go to Honda's website, it says a freight and prep cost. Now, from the dealer standpoint, different dealers will charge you a different amount per freight and prep. Some might have big freight and prep, $800, and they might list the bike cheaper, and it all ends up being the same. Other places have a lower freight and prep, but they list the bike out a little more expensive. So I'm kind of assuming that all dealerships are going to end up being the same price in the end, and they're just showing you different hands at different points. That's actually not true. Some dealerships, so you have the right to, you can choose how much you want to sell freight and prep for. And what happens is the bike comes in on a crate, and the service center will actually charge the dealership an hour of labor for freight and prep. Some dealerships, they make it real cheap, and they actually charge less than what Honda recommends. Some dealerships try to make money on it. They charge more than what Honda recommends. So it's actually, it is a real thing. It is a real cost for them. But the fact that whether it's always shown in the beginning, you do have to ask for freight and prep and see how much that costs.
I don't want to really play up the fact that the YouTube channel, because I want them to think I don't want to think I'm negotiating with added value of the YouTube channel.
Right, that's a good point.
But there is added value for them if you think about it. But I don't want to use that as a negotiation point.
Right.
Here's the thing, though.
But they don't.
Most people when they're going to buy their first bike, if they have any type of wits about them, they're not even looking in the new market. As far as you know what I mean? I've never thought about price shopping a Rebel, for crying out loud.
Right.
I've always thought Rebels are right around $2,500, and that's what I'm going to get it for. I would have never thought a new one's $3,100. So
what you have going on here is you only have a certain amount of people that are actually willing to buy new. And it's much smaller than the amount of people who are willing to buy used. Let's do a very simple example. You have 10 people who are willing to buy that bike when it's brand new, because you only have this amount of many people who are buying new stuff. The used market is much bigger because you're buying a much different, broader range of years and a broader range of prices. So you might have 100 people, 200 people who are willing to buy those bikes when they're in the used market. But when they're in the used market, you only have so many. You have a finite quantity. When it's in the new market, they can always order and build more. When it comes to this new old stock, it fits somewhere in between, because when you're looking for new, you're normally thinking current year or a couple months old from the year before. When you're thinking used, you're thinking used. So these new old stock kind of falls in, and a lot of people don't know about them, and they don't know how to search for them. So from what he's saying, it's not that these are bikes that have been sitting in that day shop for 2 years or 2.5 years. You know what I mean?
He's saying Honda's allowing them to order them.
Well, he's saying that they bought it at one of their auctions,
right?
One of their Honda only auctions. So then, There's no way. And he said they just got them.
Right.
So why would they just get them and then break even on it?
Right. It makes no sense.
They must have got them for cheap. I wonder how much they paid for them.
Yeah. So what does that mean? Does that mean it's like been a demo bike or something like that?
No, I think that I think that some other dealership couldn't sell them, so then they send them to the places that can.
Just a big pool, and then everyone bids on them and takes them.
So, and another misconception that I've had about these new old stock bikes was that I thought they were actually sitting on that dealership's floor for the past 3 years, just collecting dust. That's actually not true. It's very unlikely that was happening. Now, it may have came. This has not been confirmed, but it may have came from another dealership that couldn't sell it. But most likely, these things are coming from Honda warehouse or actual Honda manufacturing, and they still had extra ones. And then they go to Honda only auctions, and that's where the Honda dealerships buy them at a much discounted price. And that's how they're able to sell them for much cheaper. So it's not as simple as, oh, Honda's losing, or a dealership is losing $3,000 on this bike. They probably bought it. They most likely bought it cheaper at an auction.
Bro, track and trail is stupid cheap, man.
Really?
2015 brand new Rebel, $2,500.
Holy cow.
2015 brand new CBR 300 RLF, $2,500.
What?
Dude, that's stupid cheap, man.
Yeah. What else do they have? So to actually see if this is possible, if you actually can get a deal, because there's a lot of unknowns. They list a price online, but you have all these unknowns of freight and prep and how much they're going to charge in taxes, which should be known, and dock fees. You've got these unknowns that I know as me as a consumer, I'm a little concerned about. That's why us at SRK Cycles, we don't have any extra fees. It's very, very clear and transparent. But with these unknowns, so we're going to actually go buy one. We're going to go buy one, and we're going to see what it's actually like and whether you can actually buy a bike new, brand new, cheaper than what we could buy this bike used for on the retail market. So once again, like I've said before multiple times, it is not above me to run out of gas on a trip.
We're almost at a gas station. I know this.
We were pretty low when we started. We are pegging the E. The light is on. We've been going the speed limit the entire time. And then Caleb looks over to see how much gas we have, and now it's the only thing I can look at.
I just double check sometimes just to make sure.
Is the bike we came for not here? Yo, so the bike's not here. It's at their warehouse. And should we try to figure out should we try to do the deal with that bike? Just for the sake of the video? And then get that other bike for $1,900?
Right, just not bring the other bike back.
Right.
Just buy that bike. We can do that. Can we get a bill of sale for the other bike?
Yeah,
Let's just get a bill of sale for it, right?
let's go try to do it. Let's go see what the deal looks like with the other bikes.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes,
So we drive about 2 hours. We get to the dealership. Nice place, tons of bikes, and we're walking around and we're looking, and we actually don't see the bike that we came here for. And at first, this is kind of concerning us. And then we asked them about it. They assured us that they do have the bike. It's just at their. I mean, the shop was packed. It was packed. No, you couldn't fit any more bikes in there. they assured us they do have the bike. It's at their other warehouse location 20 minutes down the road. All they gotta do is pick it up. So at this point, we're thinking, you know, time's getting tight. We wanna get back to the shop by 5 o'clock. This is gonna push everything an hour back. So for a while we were thinking, maybe we'll just buy this other bike. That's a pretty good deal, but that doesn't really, you know, prove the point we're trying to make. So we were thinking, well, we could get a print up. We'll have them give a print up of what it would cost if we bought that. If we bought the 2015 new old stock. That's actually what we were gonna do. But then when we started talking to the guy and working with him, he actually made the process really easy. We ended up just going to pick up the new old stock anyway, and we ended up buying the bike like we had planned.
Flex it over for me, or we can move it.
There you go. Oh, look at that.
You see where they put me, dude?
We put them there for good reason.
Alright, I love you.
I love you.
Yo, did you say anything about me?
All this love and all this pain you've given.
So I'm pretty pumped. We got a pretty good deal on this bike. We actually thought we were buying a black one, but we got black with yellow stripes. I think it looks kind of cool.
And they're just decals, so you could always take them off.
We won't.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
We won't. So to be honest with you, when I started this idea and we started this process, I had a lot of assumptions, and a lot of these assumptions have been broken down and changed, and you know what I thought is actually not what it is, and I'm actually pretty pleased with how I think things turned out. I am the proud new owner. This is the first time I ever bought anything, any motorcycle or any car or any vehicle brand new. I am the proud new owner of a 2015 Honda CBR 300. Here's the actual price sheet. So we got it from the guys at Track and Trail. They treated us great, and they were very upfront about freight and setup. Freight was $199. Setup was $199. We walked out the door $29,570. We paid less than $3,000. Still under. So that's what we expected walking into the deal. Still under what a used one is selling for, with a couple, up to 5,000 miles. And I'm actually pretty pleased. Now, because we are a dealership, we don't have to pay taxes or register the bike. So that if you're going to pay taxes, you're going to pay 6% on that, and then registration and dock fees. So it's going to be around another $200 for registration and dock fees, and then 6% on the $2,500.
But
so,
you would also pay that on a used bike too.
Right.
You're still paying the registration.
You're paying that on any bike. So you can still get I'm pretty pleased. I'm pretty pleased with how things went, and it did kind of change the way I think of things. There is another bike that's actually coming on the market that we were gonna buy that's doing the same thing that I'm actually more interested in than this bike, and that's actually the 2017 Honda Africa Twin, which we were actually gonna buy. I love those bikes. They're amazing bikes. I love that Honda decided to make them in the U.S. market. But we ended up getting this one. So I just want to say a shout out to the guys at Track and Trail. They treated us awesome. We had a great experience, and I would work with these guys again. We actually might buy some more bikes from them. So I'm pumped. I hope that gives you guys a little more information about buying a new bike, and it definitely gave me a lot more information. And I want to see more people on the road. So we'll see you guys later, and keep an eye. See what we're gonna do with this thing next. Hey guys, it's Sean from SRKCYCLES, and I'm so incredibly blessed to have such great friends and awesome people around me, and a lot of people. I want to share with some of you guys. A lot of people sent me some really nice birthday wishes, and I want to share the nicest ones and the most appropriate ones.
Hey, I'm still mad at you for that time I went up on the roof to get that frisbee down and you kicked my ladder over and left me up there for 3 hours.
I just want to let you know it was pretty scum of you to take the tailgate off my truck while I was in Dunkin' grabbing a coffee.
Stop bending all the spoons and use an ice cream scooper.
Hey Sean, I saw you push my kid down at the playground the other day. That's messed up.
Hey, I know that was you that took off with my sneaker that time I was in the attic and my foot fell through the ceiling. I want my Nike back.
Gee, thanks, Sean, at SRK Cycles.
Please stop siphoning gas out of my car.
Sean, thanks for the 5 broken ribs. Next time I come walk your dog, can you throw 10 cents of rock salt down on your walk so I don't fall and break my back?
Take the trash out.
Yo, Sean, remember when you asked to borrow my car because you had to take your dog to the vet? I said, you don't even have a dog? And you said, yeah, I do. And I said, you better not take that stupid smelly goat in my car. And you said, no, I won't do that. And then you know what? I know you took that goat in my car because I walked into my garage the next day and you left the goat in my car and it was chewing my seats. Come get your goat.
Don't eat off my plate and don't drink my drink.
Sean, every day for 3 years, you've brought your dog to my lawn to take a dump. I'm tired of that.
Shawnee, I'm gonna need you to stop stealing the blankets all night.
Hey Sean, stop stealing my lunch money for freaking tank straps, man.
And here are some of the nicest things that you guys who couldn't figure out how to properly use their phone or a video camera said to me on comments of my videos. I really appreciate you guys too.
Never know what's in store when we're rowdy and bored. Honey, can we catch some floating fireflies? Let them light our way tonight through the neverland skies. Oh, the whole night through. 'Cause we don't wanna grow up. We just wanna be young.
Love you guys.
For real though, stop trying to steal my shoes.